Hekate came through for me this morning, wanting to give those of you that resonate with this message a strong message. And the message is actually a message from your ancestors. So I'm going to dive right into the reading. If you don't know me, my name's Carey. I'm a medium, a spiritual mentor, and I'm so excited to be here doing readings for you. So if this reading resonates with you, please let me know. I can't wait to do more and for us to get to know each other. So let's get started. I wanted to let you know I like to talk about the decks I use because so many of my clients and my students really love finding out about new decks and sharing them with each other. So I'll be sure to let you know. And if you like any of them, all of the links will be in my profile. The first energy I'm going to be tapping into is Hekate. Also, I like to call her Mother Hekate. Now, many people work with Hekate, and I always say that please trust your own guidance that you receive from her if you are working with her already before you trust anyone else's message. So if something I'm sharing doesn't resonate for you, please feel free to dismiss it. And if you are newer or wanting to learn more about Hekate, because people ask me that often, I would say start with learning about her historical significance and do as much research as possible. Stay open and see what you receive. And if I can help in some way, please let me know. So, the deck I have for Hekate, which is where we're going to be starting, is actually a deck that she and I chose together to signify the communication in our relationship. Now, this deck specifically has so much of her symbolism in it, which I have found really connects with me and my relationship with her. The first thing, it's the Hush Tarot. It has a lot of symbols that you find in nature. Hecate for me, being that liminal witch, she is a part of nature. And I happen to live on a street that has two crossroads. So my connection with her is in the outdoors a lot of the time and very connected in with when I do healing work with her and spell work. This also has a lot of animals within it, as well as keys, and she is known as being the keeper of the keys. So this is her deck we're going to be working with. So I'm going to first be connecting with her energy. And then I actually have a deck too that I have when I'm working with ancestors, ancestors of people that I do readings for. I like to honor people's ancestors. And so I open up my energy field to bring through their messages in all of the readings that I do with my clients, as well as here on YouTube. So please feel free to let me know if this resonates for you as well. But this is the deck of called the Abyss and the Abyss Tarot, and it has this wonderful folk like sketch to it, and it's very simplistic, but yet it has a lot of very visually stimulating imagery as well. So that's going to be for the ancestors, and then we're also going to be bringing through the Ryder Waite Smith, and this is what I call my neutral deck. I like to tell my students that, connect with the decks that speak to you and where you feel the most inspired by. You feel the divination portion of the readings you're doing is really opened. And for me, the Rider Waite Smith tends to bring everything down to a really clear place because it's the foundation of tarot. And then the last deck I'm using, which will be for oracle messages, which are messages for spiritual guidance in general, I'm going to be using The Wild Unknown by Kim Krans, one of my favorite decks. I like to tell everybody about my setup as well. So I have an ancestor candle here for my own ancestors. That will also be for your ancestors as well. And I also have here a beautiful statue for Hekate. And then I also have for her the devotional necklace that I have uh, really ascribed to her, as well as something a little bit more magical. When I do spell work with her, I have Hekate's a symbol with um, her sigil on it, as well as the key. And there's a lot more about that, but more about that in the future. So I'm going to start first with just tapping in. What do we need to know? Why did Hekate come in this morning? Again, if this resonates for you, please accept it as a gift, this channeled message. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. So I'm just going to see how many cards she wants me to pull and what she's saying the face of Hekate, the message. And I can feel her just getting activated here in my space, coming around, sharing messages. She's telling me to pick 3 cards. So let's see where that takes us on this journey. And I'm just looking for the ones that really stand out for me as I'm doing this reading. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, everybody. So we have a few cards and swords coming in. We have the 4 of Swords, which does not surprise me. But we also have the 3 of Swords, so there's significance here. And then her final card is the Empress. For me, Hekate, one of her signifiers in this deck is the Empress. It's one of the ones that I assigned to her. So this means she's coming forth with a message about both of these things. Now, for me, when I see the 3 of Swords and that message is coming through, that's telling me there's some past pain that's coming up to be attended to. So the guidance here is, do you have something coming up now that needs some space for you to be able to examine, to be able to retrieve insights? How is it affecting you? So there's where we come in with our shadow work, that we need to give ourselves space to see how things are influencing us and affecting us. Our world is in a lot of turmoil right now, and it's probably bringing up a lot of things for many of us. I know it is for me. And so the 4 of Swords is really saying, take that step back. Give yourself the spaciousness to be able to clear your mind and your heart. Do things that are nurturing for you. The mind is very busy in this expression, especially when we have the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. We need to be able to discern what is actually valid of the things that we're thinking of and what we can replace with possibly something that is infused with a little bit more gentleness in our headspace, and where we're changing and alchemizing some of these heavier thoughts. And then the Empress is coming through as Divine Mother. It's one of the expressions of Hekate where she comes through and says, listen, this is not an easy time. And sometimes mothers need to be a little bit tough on their kids to say, you deserve better than this. Give yourself the spaciousness. Let your ancestors help you. And I'm hearing ground game. So the things that are really all around you and are in your space, and then your greater space, are really going to be affecting you now. And so you want to make sure you're taking the time to give yourself this spaciousness, this kindness. The wisdom she's telling me needs to come through. And I work with energy and the chakra system. And I feel a lot of activation in my throat chakra with her, as though she's wanting you to clear things out. She is an initiator often. She's an instigator. She's pushing you to climb that mountain that you've been avoiding because you've been thinking you don't have what it takes. She's saying you have the grit. You have what it takes. One step at a time, please. I'm hearing one step, sister, one step at a time. You deserve this, is what she's telling me. Fantastic. All right, we're going to have her, she's bringing forth your ancestors. And here's the thing. Many of us don't work with ancestors. It's okay if you don't. This is just what she's giving me. And she's saying, some of you don't speak to your ancestors because there's been hurt in your family line. There's been disappointment. There has been, in some cases, disgust. And when that happens, we understand, she's saying, we get the fact that the soil that you've grown up in is hurtful. But there are ancestors in your family line that are really going to help you right now with strength, with conviction, with your purpose, with your wisdom. Now, some of those ancestors might be generations back, connected to you when you weren't even living in the same country that you're in. But remember what you want to do when you work with ancestors. You can ask for specific ones to come forth. And the ones that I will tell you, here is the message. You want to ask for the benevolent, uplifted, and enlightened ancestors. When you ask for those ancestors, wow, and I feel a lot of female ancestors coming through in your lines, if this makes sense for you. This could even go back 7 generations for some of you, and I definitely feel like we're talking about Eastern Europe, parts of Northern Europe and parts of Western Europe, and also even going down into like the Mediterranean, coming forth, sort of saying, "We're here. We are here to protect you." Just because some of the masculine energies in your line, or even some of the women that were just complacent and didn't protect or defend your ancestors, it doesn't mean you don't have strong blood in your line. And we see this right here. She's coming through really strong. So benevolent, uplifted, and enlightened ancestors makes the way for those ancestors to come forth that are really much more able to support you, able to guide you, able to even help you. If, say, you're doing spell work or healing work or manifesting work, draw upon their wisdom. Their blood runs through your veins and your connection to the earth plane as well. So right here we have the death card and the 9 of cups. This for me is a female ancestor. I'm getting the total chills on both of these. So understand, when we get the death card, that is transformation. That's a new beginning. That is something dying and ending and beginning again. That's the card of Scorpio. And then the 9 of cups, emotional fulfillment, getting your own emotional fulfillment down, moving through, not feeling fragile, not feeling broken, feeling sustained. And sometimes the very core of your being can be reignited and strengthened by you working with these sacred ancestors. 5 of Wands is coming in for me here too. And I'm feeling like you've been wondering what direction your energy should go in. It feels like you've made a headway towards this area, but then you thought that didn't work. Let me try this area. And then we move into this area. What are we trying? Where you're going to get the understanding, recognition, and the truth is not out there. It's got to start right in here in your own vessel. So plant your feet on the ground, ground yourself, take in that deep earth energy in through the mother Gaia, and then allow it to move through your energy field. Open your energy field up and allow your inner guidance, your higher self, your wisdom to flow through your crown chakra. Give yourself a chance to allow this activation to happen. Welcome it. It does not have to be a struggle. We often also, too, the other message I got from the ancestors, too, just this morning when I pulled cards was the Fool in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, which means the system's broken for you. You think you have to do this all yourself, and this is not only you that's in this. You're a pioneer. You are the one. You're the star card, right? So you might be the only one in your family line who is starting this, who has taken the leap, who is stepping out on a limb to do this work, to show up the way you have, to fight for what is right, to step out away from religious programming, fear, misogyny, whatever it might be. You're the one, and your guides, your ancestors, Hekate, and any of the goddesses or deities you work with, they are your army. They are here for you. Wow. And I'm getting the chills. I mean, big time. Okay, let me move through now with other messages from higher self. That 4 of Swords has come through 3 times today. So that is a message. Okay, this just makes so much sense. So let's go again. We're going to Ryder Waite Smith. Look at this, friends. 4 of Swords, right? When the swords are on the wall, it means we are not activating the mental brain in the mental space. We are stepping away. We are lying down. We are evaluating our thoughts. How are our thoughts affecting us? What do we need to do to get sovereignty, mental clarity, to get wisdom, to get that inner guidance, not to feel separated from it? It is within you. And also, 2 of Pentacles, you're making some type of a choice. You're leaning and teeter-tottering between this place and that place. So when you think about earth energy and the Pentacles, you want to think about investing. What do you want to invest in? Invest in yourself. Trust yourself. 4 and 2 makes 6. And 6 is a number of stability and foundations. And it's also of retribution. So give yourself that air of clarity. And then finally, what they're saying is now's the time for change, friend. Transformation. We've got all these stability cards. we've got all these stability symbols and signs here coming through. And start with your manifestation. We have a full moon coming up in 2 days. Leo energy. That's breaking out. That's trusting yourself. That's being that leader, stepping into it. Now, your leadership might be quieter. Your leadership might be much more directed towards something that maybe you're the only one who knows about, but you know it's there. Let's see what we have here as far as our next deck, which is again the wild unknown. We have some wonderful cards coming out. We have two really strong cards coming out, and this is the Seed, and then we have the Judge. Here's what I want you to talk about, right? And take a look at. Notice these patterns are very similar. And also, this is in quadrants, in 4 quadrants. The final card here is Eros, which is definitely a masculine fire energy. And we have the diamond in the center of that. I'm going to meditate over this and just see what they're giving me. So I'm really leaning towards the Judge first. This is where the energy of this part of the reading is flowing. And then in here, we have the Pearl, right? So in the very center. So this means, again, drawing lines in the sand, not making the mistake of allowing people to inundate you with their energy. You are the sovereign proprietor of your own life. The guidance that you're waiting for is all in here. So I'm hearing trucks stop. This is the stuff. So this is what's going to be the new step, friend. This is the challenge. This could possibly be the difficulty. So you're going to want to start making sense of the things that seem nonsensical in your life. You're going to need to make a parting of the ways with it. And sometimes that will require you setting up boundaries, systems, and patterns that are going to be positive towards what you're going to get out of them. You're not going to be taking into consideration so much what everybody else is going to obtain and what they're going to get out of it. Now is your time to conquer some of the fears you have and use that Leo moon energy to help you navigate this, to burn off some of that fear that's in your 3rd chakra that's keeping you small. And give yourself, there's also a lot of a hand of like, I do feel an energy of like a grandfather coming through. This is a grandfather on your maternal line. So it could be grandfather, great grandfather. His energy. And again, when I'm a medium, so when I have a loved one come through, obviously this can't be everyone's loved one. So the message is more of like universal overarching message. And if it resonates for you, you can take it. Just take it as guidance and wisdom. But this is an older grandfather in his 70s. I'm getting the number 78, which feels like he could have passed and he was around 78. And he definitely is telling me I was a smoker, and I can see that in his skin. And also I can feel that there is a heart condition and there's some stuff going on in his lungs. Wow, he's giving me a lot of information. 5'11". I feel like he was a kind of a fix-it guy. And I can see him clean cut. And he's telling me something about archery. Okay, when I get archery, I'm just going to say this means to me Sagittarius. So that means you could be a Sagittarius. He could have been a Sagittarius or someone very close. Okay, so wow. Okay, he's giving me a lot of guidance. I feel like I also heard the name starts with the letter G. So I'm going to give you all that. It may not make sense to any of you, but I did hear that. And he's really wanting to come forth and help you make boundaries, clear away the things that do not make sense. Level up. He's saying, now is your time to level up. Take the next step. And I keep getting this image, which I pulled for myself this morning when I was doing another reading for a collective group. And I got the card of the mountain. And when we see the mountain, that means if we have to take something that's a treasure to us and we put it in our pocket, it's a little bit like Lord of the Rings, I'm getting. And again, the pearl as the diamond too. So you've got to hold that treasure, which is you, in right here in a secret compartment. And then you might have to walk up this mountain. And sometimes when we walk up a mountain, it's not even upright. Sometimes we are literally on our bellies, grabbing the next piece of dirt to get up there, grabbing roots on the side. And it feels tough, but one step at a time. This particular grandfather energy is showing me that it is hard work, but when you earn it, you'll have so much confidence in yourself. And there'll be wisdom that comes forth that you can't even imagine that you're going to gain confidence from. This is just extraordinary. So, this is what I've got. Let me just see if there's anything else from the guides, from Hekate, from the ancestors. Take the time and the trouble to listen right here in your chest. That's really what I'm getting. What a beautiful reading. I want to thank you guys for listening and being here. Again, my name's Carey. I'm a medium and a mentor. I will be doing readings twice a week. Let me know in the comments how you like this. So I offer a lot very in-depth readings, certainly channeled messages, regularly working with your guides, ancestors, deities. I can't wait to see more of you. If you would like to check out any of these decks, they'll be in the links in the bio. I hope you subscribe and I'll see you again. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.